I had always believed in honesty, loyalty, and the idea that marriage was a sacred bond. When I married my wife, Amanda, I thought I was starting a new chapter of trust and love. We had shared dreams, plans, and a vision of a future built together. But 8 months into our marriage, the illusion shattered in a way I never could have imagined. It started with small inconsistencies that, at first, I tried to dismiss. Amanda would occasionally return late from work without explanation. Her phone would light up with texts she tried to hide, and certain conversations felt rehearsed, as if she were carefully controlling what I could and couldn't know. I told myself I was being paranoid, that maybe the stress of work was affecting her behavior. Then one evening, everything came to a head. I was tidying up the office, and Amanda's laptop was left open on the desk. A notification popped up, a message from her boss. Curious and anxious, I glanced at it, and my heart froze. The messages were intimate, flirtatious, and unmistakable. Amanda had been having an affair with her boss. My stomach churned as I read the exchanges, the familiarity of the words cutting deeper than I could have imagined. At first, I wanted to deny it, to believe it was a mistake or a misunderstanding. But the messages, the tone, and the frequency left no room for doubt. My wife, the person I trusted most, had been betraying me since just 8 months into our marriage. But as I dug further, the extent of the deception became even more shocking. I discovered that Amanda's lies didn't start with our marriage, they stretched back 12 years. Through old emails, social media messages, and hidden phone records, I realized that her pattern of secrecy, manipulation, and infidelity had been a recurring theme throughout her adult life. She had hidden relationships, lied to partners, and carefully curated a version of herself that was far removed from the truth. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. I felt disbelief, anger, and profound heartbreak, all rolled into one. How could the woman I had loved, the woman I had trusted to build a life with me, have constructed an entire life of deception? The foundation of our marriage, which I had assumed was solid, crumbled before my eyes. I confronted Amanda the next morning. I kept my voice calm, though my heart was pounding. "Amanda," I said, "I know about the affair with your boss. I've seen the messages. I also know that this isn't just about our marriage, it's been going on for years. I need the truth." Her initial reaction was denial, followed by anger and attempts to shift blame. She claimed that I was misinterpreting, that the messages were innocent, and that the past was irrelevant. But I had the evidence, emails, messages, and records that painted a clear picture. There was no way she could manipulate the facts this time. Eventually, Amanda admitted to the affair. She tried to rationalize it, claiming dissatisfaction, unmet needs, and the excitement of secrecy. But her words felt hollow, a feeble attempt to explain away a pattern of lies that had spanned more than a decade. The betrayal wasn't a one-time mistake, it was a reflection of her character, her choices, and her disregard for the trust of those closest to her. The emotional fallout was intense. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and enraged. I struggled to process the realization that the woman I had married had deceived me from the start, and that the promises of fidelity and honesty I had believed in were built on a foundation of lies. In the following days, I sought counsel from friends, family, and a therapist. I needed perspective, clarity, and guidance on how to respond. The pain of betrayal was raw, but I knew that acting impulsively could worsen the situation. I focused on gathering evidence, understanding timelines, and assessing the extent of the deception. Amanda tried to reconcile, claiming remorse and a desire to rebuild trust. She promised transparency, therapy, and an end to the affair. But the betrayal had gone too deep. Trust, once broken in such a profound and calculated manner, could not be restored with words alone. I realized that forgiveness, if it were ever possible, would take years, and even then, the knowledge of her past actions would always linger. I made the difficult decision to separate. Legal consultations, emotional preparation, and discussions about property and responsibilities followed. The separation was necessary to protect myself, preserve my dignity, and ensure that I could move forward without being trapped in a web of lies and manipulation. As I reflected on the experience, I understood several critical lessons. First, deception often hides in plain sight, carefully constructed to appear innocuous. Second, betrayal can be systemic and long-term, extending far beyond the immediate relationship. Third, confronting deceit requires courage, clarity, and evidence. Rather than anger or assumptions, the affair, once discovered, exposed a pattern that affected not only me but others who had unknowingly trusted her. Over the years, I realized that while I could not change the past, I could control my response, enforce boundaries, and reclaim my life. Standing firm, seeking justice, and refusing to be manipulated were essential steps in protecting my emotional well-being. Months after the discovery, I began to rebuild. Therapy, support from friends and family, and personal reflection helped me regain stability and clarity. I focused on understanding what I valued in relationships, what boundaries I would enforce, and how to ensure that future partnerships were grounded in honesty and mutual respect. Amanda faced the consequences of her choices as well. Her deception, once exposed, affected her credibility, reputation, and personal relationships. The affair, combined with years of lies, could no longer be hidden. Accountability became inevitable, and the facade she had carefully constructed for over a decade crumbled. Reflecting on the ordeal, I recognized that betrayal, though devastating, can catalyze growth, self-awareness, and empowerment. The discovery of the affair, while painful, forced me to confront reality, reassess my values, and prioritize integrity in all aspects of life. It was a painful but necessary awakening to the importance of trust, transparency, and boundaries in relationships. In the end, the experience left me stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the dynamics of trust and deception. I learned that betrayal is not always sudden. It can be a pattern, hidden for years, waiting for exposure. Acting decisively, confronting the truth, and maintaining personal integrity are essential for reclaiming control and moving forward. The marriage, once cherished, became a lesson in vigilance, self-respect, and the necessity of clarity in human relationships. Amanda's choices, the affair, and the lies spanning 12 years served as a harsh but invaluable teacher, reminding me that love without trust and honesty is fragile, and that safeguarding one's dignity and values is paramount. Ultimately, the discovery transformed my understanding of relationships, trust, and personal strength. Betrayal, while deeply painful, became a catalyst for empowerment, clarity, and a renewed commitment to integrity. The affair with her boss, the lies stretching back over a decade, and the confrontation that followed were not just an ending. They were the beginning of a path towards self-respect, resilience, and the pursuit of relationships built on honesty and genuine commitment.